Hello everyone, my name is Kasasqi Anthonie Putri and I am a psychology student at Mercu Buana University. Today I will talk about my research paper. My research paper will talk about stress at workplace. Why this topic is important? This topic is important because we know that people have realized that mental health is important even in the workplace. Stress at workplace definitely affects employees' performance and their work result. Employees that have a healthy mental, or in other words, less stress, will do their work quicker and with the best result. Because of that, this will make the company grow and the company will get a bigger profit. This research paper was done by interviewing someone who works in a company to collect information about their and other employees' working stress that affect their mental health, if they have access to a professional support, and how to reduce working stress. Here are the questions that I asked to someone who works in the company. Number 1, could you please introduce yourself and describe your role and responsibilities in the workplace? Number 2, how many years of experience do you have in your current job and how long have you worked in this industry? Number 3, what are some common sources of stress that employees have encountered in this workplace? Number 4, in your opinion, how does workplace stress affect the mental health of employees here? Number 5, what coping strategies do you or your colleague employ to manage workplace stress and its effect on mental health? Number 6, have you observed any changes in the way workplace stress and its impact on mental health have been managed over the years? Number 7, what measures or policies do you believe could be implemented to reduce workplace stress and promote better mental health among employees? Number 8, do employees have access to professional mental health support or counseling services? If so, how do they utilize these services? Last, based on your experience, what advice would you give to employees, employers, or policymakers aiming to improve mental health in the workplace? The research about working stress has been done in the past. Writer found a journal with the title "The Effect of Working Stress with Employees' Work Performance at Kantor Pengelola IT Center Manado." The research in this journal used quantitative method and simple regression using questionnaires and observations as techniques to get data from 32 workers. The conclusion of the journal is the working stress in employees affects employees' work performance. The higher the working stress, then employees' work performance will not be good. Here are the sources answers of all the writers' questions. Number 1, YP, the source didn't want his name to be published, is an employee with a purchasing or procurement position in an engineering company. The task of purchasing staff is buying items that the company needs and also do research, negotiate, bid, ensure suitability, and meet with many suppliers. The main purpose of this job is to get items or services that the company needs properly. YP already has more than 2 years experience in the purchasing division but has only worked for less than a month in this company. The source of stressful thoughts for this position is mainly deadlines and the availability of the item that company wanted. When an item is complicated, rarely available in the market, a non-standard item, and needed in a short period of time, those are some of the things that make YP stress. But for other employee in engineering or salesman position, there are different sources of stress. For example, the complexity of assembly, the heat in the field, or the difficulty of finding project tenders. YP thinks that the stress working is not a serious problem for him and other employees' mental health because all the employees are quite friendly and supportive in all aspects. When there was a project, they were working as a team, not as individuals. And they have a company director who acts like a leader, not as a boss. YP said that possible working stress that can affect mental health are losing tenders, rarely coming home because they have to go to another city when there is a project. YP thinks by having a two-way communication to avoid anger from a project leader. There was one time when the project leader had different thoughts with the salesman, and the salesman made his own decision that were not in accordance with the will of the project leader, which directly affected cohesiveness. The project leader got angry and spoke with a high tone through the phone to the salesman. After the salesman explained his intentions and communicated well to the project leader, everything returned to normal. According to YP, no strict office hours, mini break that employees can have, maybe just for a coffee or a stretching. No prohibition, no on discussion, or even light jokes in the office space, as long as the targets and work not interrupted. And applying culture of teamwork in the office are the things that can reduce workplace stress. In YP workplace, there is no access to a professional mental health support, but YP thinks it's because his workplace is not an office that has a high pace. Keep paying attention to employees' rights, such as working hours, to organize the office atmosphere in such a way that employees feel comfortable when working. From the interview with YP, writer has stated that in YP company, he and other employees sometimes feel the working stress. But in their opinion, the working stress is not a serious problem for their mental health because the atmosphere in their office is good. They can work as a team, not as individuals, and they have a company director who acts like a leader, not as a boss. The reason why YP company doesn't have a professional mental health support is because the working stress in the company doesn't affect the employees' mental health, and the company is not an office that has a high pace. So just practical steps for YP company is keeping the atmosphere in the office good, keep working as a team, and be thankful for the company director. In the future, perhaps YP company will consider hiring professional mental health support for their employees so that the employee can manage their work stress with the help of someone professional. The conclusion of this research paper is that working stress definitely affects employees' work performance and their working result. By interviewing someone who works in the company, perhaps we know what makes them feel stressed, if they have access to professional mental health support, and what they do to reduce stress. According to YP, the person that writer interviewed, in his position being a purchasing staff, sometimes there are stressful thoughts, mainly because of deadlines and finding the item that company wanted and the availability stock of the item. Sometimes the company wanted items that were complicated and needed in a short period of time. Stressful thoughts occur because he has to manage strategies and time so the target can be achieved. But he and his co-workers don't think that their working stress is a problem for their mental health because they are able to manage those thoughts with coordination in teamwork and also the employees' success to create enjoyable workplace. So that's all my research paper. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.